ना समझे कि तो पॉवर्टी एरिया में नॉट ऑलवेज
कुछ थोड़ा सा है
क्या हुआ
कार्ड किसको भेजे थे
कार्ड वो एक C1 की क्या पता
हां
C1 की
पता कर रहे क्या
मैं बोल रहा हूं ना बोल रहा था कि बनती है बोल रहा हूं
थाईलैंड जाके है वो
वेरी गुड कर सकते हैं
कोई थाईलैंड
बता इसको अभिषेक बता
फोटो दिखाओ क्या कर रहे हो
मेरा किसी भी नहीं है
भाई जिधर मैं कहता
इसको अभिषेक ने पता है
जिधर मैं कहता
नहीं दिया पे था पता है वो नहीं पता
मैं जिधर गया
नहीं दिया पे था
जिधर मैं गया था उसने वो उधर जाके डाल दिखाओ
नहीं
क्यों उधर जाके डाल बोल दिखाऊं क्या
नहीं दिखा
अरे मैं सेव कर रहा हूं मतलब मैं सब मन नहीं रहा था
क्या
मैंने सेव नहीं करी है
करी होगी
पागल है
टाइम कर लिया हां यार ना क्या कर रहा है लोग ऐसे कर रहा है
देख रहा हूं
कितने लोग कमेंट कर रहे हैं आजकल
आइडिया तो हम क्या सिग्नेचर पर हो गया
क्यों बोला तूने कि देखो कूल बनना है मैं तेरे को एक्चुअली दिखाता हूं ना फोटो उसने हाईलाइट डाला है मेरी आज बैठ ना भाई पहले तो तेरे को नहीं हुआ
पहले था अभी नहीं है
देख जॉनी नहीं नानी है ऐसे काम तो और को है कौन
एग्जैक्टली मैं भी ये सोच रही थी
आज 5 ही जाना है यार बस
नहीं इसमें और लोग हैं ना फिर आप
वक्त तो देख
ये देखो पता है मेरा केमिस्ट्री टेस्ट में भी आया मेरा
भाई लोग कितना पता है फिजिक्स में 90%
80
18
18 है देखो
20 अभी संडे वाला
नाइस
मैंने खुद का नहीं देखा
मैंने वो न्यूमेरिकल हल किया
मैं मुझे भी
न्यूमेरिकल वो था लास्ट वाला देखो 18 और 20 है क्रेजी
तो मुझे स्पेसिफिक है
अरे बेटा वो हट गया ऑस्मोसिस वाला चैप्टर अब्जॉर्प्शन बाय रूट
मुझे
ये उसका
हिस्ट्री
हिस्ट्री
वो कर क्या है
क्या
क्वेश्चन नंबर देखा है
क्यों अरे रेगुलर
इजी है
बहुत ही देखो
टॉप तो फिर क्या बेटा करेगा वो करके नहीं देगा
क्या
अरे नहीं उसने टेस्ट ही नहीं दिया
हां
किसी को 80 से ज्यादा है किसी कल ही आ गया
क्या हिस्ट्री
तो भाई ने टॉप कर दिया
मैंने टॉप कर हिस्ट्री
मैं 18 फिजिक्स का करो संडे वाली
मुझे मिलेगा
भाई वो हिस्ट्री की बात कर रहे हैं
हिस्ट्री में
तो कितना है फिजिक्स
फिजिक्स में मुझे कुछ 16 है
मेरे को 18 आया भाई
कैसे किया बहुत टफ था न्यूमेरिकल वो साइन तूने क्या साइन 30 लिया था तूने
अरे मैंने
कॉस लेना था
मैं कॉस लेना
मैंने भी कॉस लिया
साइन 30 से क्योंकि 1/2 डाला
मैंने भी cos लिया।
आ जाएगा फिर साइन 30 लिया
जब
but cos 30 था because
क्यों हाइपोटेनस नहीं लेना था हाइपोटेनस लेना था cos 30 में था हाइपोटेनस
हाइपोटेनस नहीं लेना था
अबे
मुझे cos 30 पढ़ाया गया है
ट्रायंगल ऐसा था ना हाइपोटेनस इधर था
अबे हां सही है सही
इसमें मैं सोचूं
कोई बात
अरे मेरा 4 मार्क्स तो लास्ट में मेरे पास नहीं है
नहीं मैं उसमें मेरे को पहला वाला सही आ गया था
नहीं उसमें क्या होगा मां
3 4
भाई
Science
सबसे घटिया चिंदी क्वेश्चन क्या था पता है 6th वाला P का K बोला तो 3 मार्क्स
वो मेरे को पूरा मिल गया
हां
ठीक है कि कौन सा
अरे वो
Pendulum?
फ्री बॉडी बॉडी नहीं
पेंडुलम हां 3 मार्क्स से चिंदी देना 3 मार्क्स
अरे कुछ करना ही नहीं था उसमें बस फार्मूला लिख देना था 3 बार
हां
मैक्सिमम मिनिमम
जब पता चल गया हमको ठीक है
पता चल गया यार तेरे बारे में
वेरी गुड जोक गाइस वेरी गुड जोक
जोक नहीं आपको जोक
भाई मैं इसको
देखो बता अद्वैत के पास क्या है उसे फोन बता कौन सा आता है बता दो
मेरे पास फोन है ही नहीं तो
देख रहा है
बता
नहीं यार
तमीज इंसान
घर पे
मूवीज देखता पढ़ाई करता मत करता खेलने नहीं आता
पढ़ेगा नहीं मैं कल हो जाएगा
आज चलिए 3 बजे
टेनिस खेल रहे हो
अभी टेनिस बॉल से सीजन में भी बोर हो रहा है
बोर नहीं हो रहा, जन चाहिए तेरे को थोड़े।
जैन
वो लोग हमेशा घाट के ऊपर जाते हैं, रोज घाट पर क्या रंग है 9 बजे जाते हैं करो।
अरे तुम मतलब देख के पूरा एनालाइज भी करते हो
बहुत खेल गए
ब्रोस वेरी बेटर
अब मुझे पता अब परमिशन
तुझे को नहीं है ना, तो है क्या अभी?
क्या अभिषेक है नहीं तो देख
अभी किसके
किसी में नहीं
पता है मुझे इससे।
भाई चुप रहे,
पता है मुझे इससे।
ब्यूटी में से ही है
हां
पता चल गया भाई उनको,
पता
बोल
चल
रहे
गया,
हो।
वो एकदम पता है।
मजाक कर रहे हो
मैं उनको बोला अक्षर
आदत है
तो अगर ये बोल रहा है तो मजाक कर रही हो, नहीं पता मतलब इसको तो है इसके ऊपर,
किसी का तो
इसका तो है, मतलब पता चल गया हमें, पता चल गया।
मेरे को 3-4 नाम पता है, उसमें से एक तो है। अब मैं
तीन
किसको
चार नाम
बोलूं?
क्या मुझे पता है कौन है। पटाया 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 मैंने तो पटाया बस,
बताया है पहले से सब।
पता ही चल गया भैया, मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ ऐसे देख के तो पता ही चल गया। अब पक्का ही है बेटा, जा जा ऐसा भाई अभी तो ऐसा, अभी तो हंसे, अभी तो पता ही है मुझे, तो
हंसा क्यों
नहीं आ रही।
अभी तो हंसे तो पता ही है मुझे, जा पटाया है बढ़िया।
क्या
इतना सीरियस हो रहा है मैं पक्का।
अभी तो है ही, अभी तो है ही, जा
अब हंस रहा है तो हमारी पक्का।
वाह
अरे भाई
अभी हंस रहे मतलब तो है ही।
भाई पीछे कह दिया तो पक्का ही है। भरोसा है भाई।
बिग फैन
ये तो भाई हमेशा 9 बजे आता है।
एक तो डॉन
डॉन है।
डॉन
डॉन है इसलिए 9 बजे आता है।
क्या है पूरा डालो, रोज हाथी है तो इस शर्ट में हाथ के आया बोल रहे मैं कभी भी आऊंगा।
डॉन है इसलिए 9 बजे
चार
आता
बार
है।
लगा के डॉन है यार।
सब लोग मेरे को सलाम करते हैं क्या?
सलाम वालेकुम ऐसे स्कूटी पे आया तो सलाम वालेकुम बोल रहे मुसलमान नहीं हूं मैं, मुसलमान में गए वो तो क्या है
अगले बार देख भाई पर
क्या सिख है क्या?
नहीं हिंदू वे क्रिश्चियन
मैं
है
तो हिंदू नहीं है,
क्या बोल रहा है
इस्लामिक
what are we got up now? Chalo, this is did you understand this? We'll take one more example. So I give you a condition something like this. Find out the trait to be studied is non-tongue rolling. Okay, now take this example again. Everything remains the same. The trait to be understood is non-tongue roller. Non-tongue rollers. If these are the parents, will there be any non-tongue roller? Find out. And if it is, then you'll have to follow the symbol and do it here. Complete this question. Complete this pedigree chart. Write down this. Understood? Write down the question. This will take along with the question and complete it. Come on. Take down the question. Study the following pedigree chart. Study the following pedigree chart and find out the possibility of. Study the following pedigree chart and find out the possibility of the non-tongue roller, possibility of non-tongue rollers, possibility of non-tongue rollers in
Study the following pedigree chart.
study the following pedigree chart and find out the possibility of non-tongue rollers in the offsprings. Possibility of non-tongue rollers in the offsprings. So you take this pedigree chart and complete it now with the. I'm giving you with the genotype and phenotype both, but genotype ज़्यादातर नहीं पूछा जाता है. But try understanding with the genotype also.
Not possible.
Not clear?
Not
Not
possible.
possible.
Not possible, huh? So right now, complete the pedigree chart now. Complete the pedigree chart. You can take 2 male, 2 female offsprings. Complete the pedigree chart and write your answer. Understood?
Yeah.
Complete your answer now.
Which pedigree chart should we study? This one only.
I gave you this.
This one.
This is another one. I gave you this.
This is a question.
This is the question. The question that I gave you, along with that, you will draw this and then complete that. This is what you have to complete now. And then write down the phenotype. Write down the phenotype. Phenotype and genotype. Both you have to write. Genotype and phenotype.
Now, so the male and first.
Is there any possibility of non-tongue rollers?
No.
No.
Do not understand? देखो यहाँ पे if these are the genotypes, पहले ये check कर लो. If these are the genotypes, and then what? If these are the genotypes of the parent, what will be the possible genotypes of the children? एक तो ऐसे होगा. What next? Another one. What next? This. And what next? This. Is there any possibility of non-tongue rollers?
No.
No. All of them are tongue roller.
So this assumption we do, like we assume, right? So we can.
We are assuming because the genotype is given. Sometimes just a pedigree chart will be there and you will be asked questions on this. We'll do some 1 or 2 questions from there. So now this is the possible genotypes. Now you draw the male female. Now the male female you can just draw it random here. So maybe now in the question will be mentioned also 2 female offsprings and 2 male offsprings. So how will I draw? I will draw 2 female and 2 male. That's it I'm drawing. But I'll have to make it a point that I don't make them bold because none of them are non-tongue rollers. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
Give me one pencil.
Number pedigree chart isn't asked that much. Pedigree chart is important. Like it isn't asked that much as square and.
No, pedigree chart is not that much asked. Sometimes for 1 or 2 marks you may get, but you have to go through, you have to understand. In case it comes as a big question.
Yeah. I mean, in case a test happens on genetics, like half of the paper would be 10 marks would be like this only, like the to draw.
Questions from this chapter you will majorly get on Mendel's laws of inheritance. Mendel's laws of inheritance, PD, major questions. And then the rest of the questions on sex-linked inheritance, the concept of gene, allele, genome, trait, character.
2-1 definition.
वो सारे. This is not a very important concept, but एक basic idea होनी चाहिए. In case you get, it is there in the syllabus. But we also in our school exams also we generally, no teacher we would generally give this because it is a bit confusing for you all to understand. Now, but try to understand a basic concept if it comes.
The phenotypical ratio is 0:4.
इसमें ratio की जरूरत है.
Ma'am, I had a doubt. What if the 2 parents have 5 children?
हाँ तो 5 children भी हो सकते हैं ना.
Yes.
5 children, 6 children भी हो सकता है, but you'll have to only take the possible genotype. I talk about a couple. एक couple तक के 4 बच्चे हो सकते हैं हमेशा. 5 भी हो सकता है. One couple may have 7 children also.
Yeah.
तो possible genotypes क्या हो सकता है? या तो ये, या तो ये, या तो ये, या तो now I have to write the fifth one. What could I write? Fifth one का इनमें से ही कुछ और I'll repeat.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What will you repeat?
No, any. इसमें कोई specific rule नहीं है that all these ratios specific you learn in the 12. इसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I'm not going to explain.
Ma'am, so it's a chance, like
It is a chance.
the fifth child may have any one of the four
The fifth child
possible.
may have this, may have this. So the entire concept of genetics is all about combination of the allele, which is a matter of chance. Which is a matter of chance. Abhi, now this son may have this son may have this genotype also, no? ये तो हम ऐसे ही just we are assuming and we are writing. ये होता होगा. But if I right now I am explaining you this, maybe the other teacher will say that नहीं यहाँ पे ये लिखो, यहाँ पे ये लिखो. Wrong है क्या? नहीं wrong नहीं, ये भी correct है. If not necessarily the son should have this, the son could have had this genotype, the daughter could have had this. So ये combination है.
And both could
These
have
are
had
only
the
the
hybrid.
Ma'am, genotypic
So,
ratio will be 2:2.
इसमें रेशियो निकालने की कोशिश मत करो because possible है कि वो fifth child another daughter है, उसका क्या लिखेंगे? अगर daughter I will just assume something ये है. आया समझ में? Unless and until we are confirmed about a specific type, we cannot frame a ratio. So for this we don't write a ratio ever. We don't write.
So can we decide by only looking like do we have a dominant tongue roller or like recessive tongue roller?
Dominant tongue roller, recessive tongue roller नहीं होता है. Tongue roller होता है. Recessive अगर हो गया तो वो non tongue roller हो गया.
In like
Homozygous or heterozygous?
yeah, like
नहीं. By looking at us, how can we understand? उसके लिए that's the reason pedigree chart. Pedigree chart मतलब क्या? I have seen you, and I get to know that you are a tongue roller. But by looking at your parent also, I'm not clear. So I have to look into your parents. I have to look into your grandparents. And then find out estimation कि अच्छा grandparents have 5 children, उनमें से your mother one and your mother got married to your father, उनका ये feature है. Then ये combination होता होगा, maybe you are a dominant genotype or tongue roller. तो ये pedigree chart, family chart बोलते हैं.
Ma'am, but is it like something like, can I have a quality that is possessed by my great
Yeah,
grandmother?
7 generations तक possible है.
7.
Yes. 7 generations तक
So
possible है.
ma'am, trace करना, it's not.
So
It
pedigree
is
chart
very difficult.
इसीलिए तो we are studying this. So in the 10th you are studying just the introduction. Pedigree chart क्या है? We can trace characters like this.
And
there are other
then
methods
if
also.
we take bio, we can remove खुद का pedigree chart.
ना easy है. 12th standard पढ़ के खुद का pedigree chart बनाओगे.
कुछ बोले तो bio लेना तू.
So now when we are talking about this pedigree charts, by the way of pedigree charts, family generations, we can study what must be the feature. Okay. Now, did you finish with this? ये complete किया?
Yes.
Then let us take 1 or 2 examples. Check here. Page 29, 30 perhaps for you. 30 perhaps for you. Go to that question.
Ma'am, I think Laksh will wear watch on his right hand.
नहीं मैं left में कर.
Right पे नीचे.
अगर मैं बहुत उल्टा सीधा करूँगा.
I mean, he should wear a watch on his right hand, right?
If a person is
Left-handed.
left-handed.
तो right पे पहनना है.
He should wear it on the right.
रहने देना यार.
क्या रहने दे? देखना some biology and designing wristwatches. Most people
I
have
know,
this.
sir. I am defined the biologist.
अच्छा, so what is the rule you are understanding?
Ma'am, because it will be easier to, if your left hand is dominant, it will be easier to turn the dial on the right watch. But if your right hand is dominant, it will be easier to turn the dial on the left.
But I am right-handed.
So you wear it on the left hand.
I
Exactly.
don't wear.
मैं भी
I find it very uncomfortable wearing the watch on the left hand.
Exactly.
Ma'am, you know what?
आराम से time भी देख सकते हो.
Yeah, it's like if you are writing on paper, okay, you're like
No,
this,
no problem.
okay.
I will
At
write
least
and
you
I will write and I will do this. Not a problem.
Ma'am, but takes too much time just to do this. I guess do this.
So that.
Hundred percent important होता
Watch
है.
को के साइड भी रख सकता है, तो ऐसे नहीं लिख सकता.
नहीं रे फिर
नहीं,
होता है ना थोड़ा.
अगर हाथ से की तो
No, I got that actually.
मैं तो
Okay.
भूल चुका था.
Take this question. Attached or free earlobe. Check करो. Attached or free earlobe. Complete करो दोनों. Attached or free earlobe. You have to find out the genotypes.
of family A and B.
हाँ, family A and B. Try.
मैंने देखा तो है वो राम से कुछ दिया तो है अब this couple has fashion family है
So here, unlike the concept of
Ma'am, in family A, how
free year low,
how is it possible? Because free year low
पांच हो गए ना?
dominant rate होता है. अच्छा
Dominant
यहाँ
है.
पे क्या होगा? Sorry ma'am.
free year low is a dominant
Right,
rate.
so capital E and
Capital E
small
and small e, yes, always that way. Capital E and small e, correct. Attached year low, small e only, that should be the genotype.
हम A लिखा है.
नहीं, year low e capital E for free and for attached small e.
I'm done so really
Ma'am, in the family B, it is homozygous, right?
now I'm done with the test
Family A complete किया?
Yeah.
Heterozygous.
Family A,
and family A में found
wait,
that
let others also think. एक मिनट रुक जा, let others also think. Complete करो दोनों. If you are done, you go to polydactyly. नीचे देखो एक और example है polydactyly. You go there. Polydactyly is recessive, हाँ? Small p होगा. Pentadactyl condition is the normal condition. Pentadactyl capital B. Polydactyly small p.
Ma'am, but in the previous chart, it is given polydactyly is a dominant trait.
नहीं?
नीचे दिया हुआ है.
all these is
मैम वो जो पढ़ा है ना
Polydactyly
मैम
हाँ,
उसमें
yeah.
नीचे ये.
Polydactyly is a dominant they are talking about.
Exactly.
Sure. Then polydactyly you have to take capital P. Pentadactyl will be small p.
done
Done.
ma'am said polydactyly only two will be there right
Polydactyly you take capital P. Pentadactyly you are taking small p.
ma'am I'm just
This is for this example.
yeah the just the yellow
This is attached here loop, no?
no free ma'am when there is capital E it will be free right
Capital E is
free and small E is attached
free is dominant.
yeah
In that chart you want to show free here loop.
yeah
So attached will be solid. Attached will be solid.
Ma'am,
No?
in this the
Ma'am, but that is the opposite way. It should be like we have to show what a dominant should be colored.
Not necessarily. We are showing in this example, check. In this example, free here low, which is a dominant trait, is not what we are tracing. We are tracing the attached here low.
So
So if you are tracing the attached here low, attached is recessive.
yeah.
तो recessive हमेशा बोल्ड नहीं होगा, ब्लैंक दिखाना है. अच्छा, heterozygous condition है तो attached कैसे होगा?
नहीं होगा.
Heterozygous होने के लिए attached here lobe के लिए it will be always dominant, recessive, double recessive होगा. So wherever you are showing attached, this only can be the genotype and you cannot keep it blank. You have to make it solid.
So what are
The conditions here would be what is given there. See, so straight away when you read this, what am I supposed to find out? I am supposed to find out attached year row. Now the free year row is
non-shaded?
non-shaded, blank, circles, blank, squares. Attached is this, so they are showing attached. So attached is recessive, straight away. This only can be the genotype. इससे आगे कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. अगर ये है, and I understand इसमें ये अगर होगा, if this allele is there and two children are like this, so possible है homozygous condition where it will be, when will it happen? When both the parent has one recessive allele. Two children are homozygous, so definitely each of the parent must be having one recessive allele. तो parents के genotype क्या होना चाहिए? This.
How did you find out that?
क्योंकि see no, if the children are homozygous,
But how do you know they're homozygous?
क्योंकि
homozygous नहीं होगा
recessive
तो how
वाला
will they become attached? Because they are recessive, no? This is a recessive trait, no?
So
Recessive.
can't they become attached by heterozygous?
नहीं. Heterozygous होगा तो just like the
Ah,
tongue roller,
it
they
will be the
will dominant
dominant.
trait will express.
Yeah.
Or what recessive trait अगर express कर रहा है, then they are definitely homozygous. तो इन दोनों का genotype very clear है, यही होना चाहिए.
मैम repeated recessive
दूसरे बच्चों का अगर genotype ये है तो possible. How did these children get one from the mother, one from the father? तो दोनों parent में भी ये होना चाहिए. But ऐसा भी है कि कुछ बच्चों के dominant phenotype दिख रहा है. That means parent का
But
एक dominant
ये पांच क्यों है?
मतलब पांच के आठ भी हो सकता है, उसमें प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
we also do not know that these are heterozygous or homozygous, right?
हाँ तो अभी इसमें तो सारे heterozygous हैं, और भी कोई combination हो ही नहीं सकता है. ये दो parent के, ये parent का और क्या combination हो सकता है? ये दो parent का या तो
I'm sorry.
ये भी combination, ये भी combination. तो ये heterozygous parent का या तो homozygous dominant या तो heterozygous या तो homozygous.
So in this family, there will be only one capillary cavity, or they can be
नहीं, one capillary cavity की possibility है, इसको मैं यहाँ पे भी लिख सकती थी.
I know that, but I'm telling that there can be two possibilities of capillary cavity.
यहाँ पे we are just estimating.
Two are dominant.
See, three of them are with the dominant phenotype. अभी I have written इसका dominant homozygous heterozygous है. If you write कि ये दो का dominant homozygous है और एक का heterozygous है, ये भी true है, वो भी true हो सकता है. But if both parents are heterozygous, heterozygous बच्चे ज्यादा बनेंगे. Homozygous कम होगा. So based on that theory I have written, if you remember the tall and the dwarf, tall कम था, heterozygous ज्यादा था. है ना? Heterozygous tall ज्यादा था, heterozygous round ज्यादा था. So always heterozygous ज्यादा होता है. Homozygous कम होगा. And ये दो का तो और कुछ सोचना ही नहीं है, इसका तो genotype इससे आगे कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. Understood? अभी try करो ये. इसका बहुत easy है. हाँ. Clear? Did you understand? हाँ. Bharat, good morning. So good.
I'm बोला मैं
मम्मी ने बुलाया नहीं,
बोल रहा मैं डॉन हूँ, साथ पढ़ रहा है, कभी भी आ जाऊँ.
बोले भाई अच्छे बोले.
तो रोज स्क्रिप्ट याद करके आया है, बड़ा कुछ बोलेगा ही नहीं ऐसे, है ना? बट अभी तुमको समझ में आ रहा है? चेक, इसको एक्सप्लेन करो कि क्या किया, कर दिया हम साइन. Are you clear? तो अभी go to the next one. फैमिली का कंप्लीट करो. हाँ देखो इसमें क्या लॉजिक है. नहीं ये कैसे ऐसे हो गया. These two are shaded. मतलब whichever trait we try to study, now the trait we try to study, which is the trait we are trying to study?
No, here it is shown. This is the free earlobe. This is the attached earlobe. We are trying to study presence of attached earlobes. Now, this is a family chart which shows these are the attached earlobes. These are the attached earlobes. Attached earlobe is a recessive trait. So, attached earlobe will only have a phenotype, genotype like this.
Ma'am, in the third one question, family B has all children of one type only, whereas family A has both types. Parents in which family are heterozygous for
But when you cross hybrid and
Which trait free earlobe or attached earlobe is dominant? Free earlobe is dominant.
Yeah.
Now next, family B has all children of one type. Family A has both types. Parents in which family are heterozygous?
Heterozygous मतलब
Parents in which family are heterozygous? Family A में they are heterozygous. Just now we have studied that. आप ले लेते हैं. तो इसमें क्या होगा देखो? This is wrong. इसमें क्या है? S. इसमें क्या है? The first thing you try understanding, it is shaded. It is showing the trait attached here, recessive trait. So recessive trait अगर है, see from the questions also you will understand. Recessive trait अगर है, then phenotype nothing apart from this. Recessive trait अगर है, genotype nothing apart from this. तो ये सबसे पहले लिख लेंगे. After that, we try to find out trace back in the generation parents. Parents, what type of genotype they must be having. So, if it is homozygous, both parents are homozygous, no? I'm sorry, both children are homozygous, no?
how solid it is.
So now, no, free earlobes, attached earlobes. So, free earlobes meaning we are trying to trace attached earlobes. Attached earlobes we are tracing, no?
Ma'am, but with the example we did on the board, उल्टा किया था.
Actually, free earlobes we have to find out. If free earlobes if we have to find out, then no, it will be confused with this. See, the question also explains that. If you are finding a free, अगर free earlobes निकालेंगे, then free would be. This is free then.
Exactly.
This is free then. Let me check because that is the easier way to find out. Wait. If I check this way, this is free. This is free. Okay. Then, if I understand that these are all attached, ये हो गया ऐसा, ये हो गया ऐसा, ये हो गया ऐसा. So, attached. Now, attached maybe this also. Maybe this also. I think two conditions. Generation में homozygous dominant भी है, heterozygous dominant भी है, and homozygous recessive भी है. This is the condition. Three types of parents. How will it be possible? Then both the parents have to be heterozygous. Understood? तभी जाके this is possible.
Ma'am, if you
Then only you will get children who are homozygous dominant, heterozygous, and homozygous recessive.
ma'am, if recessive and homozygous is taken
This is very
and hybrid is taken.
इसमें क्या है attached earlobe is recessive function. तो attached earlobe अगर recessive है, ये है सारे सारे. So attached earlobe अगर recessive है, तो parents भी यही है. Ansh, there's a small correction there. Let me just see that. So your book, in your book I have taken. Isn't one second correction there? I just want to check this. Free earlobe. In this case, they are saying free earlobe निकालो. Yes, free earlobe निकालेंगे. Then this is free earlobe. This is free earlobe. Meaning जो solid है. अच्छा, genotype एक ही रहेगा. If this is free earlobe, the ones which is in solid, this is free earlobe. So if this is free earlobe is dominant. So free earlobe अगर dominant है तो इसका genotype ये हो गया.
हाँ.
और एक और मैं assume करती हूँ कि free earlobe homozygous भी हो सकता है. So I will take this. Good.
That's what I was asking.
I did not check this.
Yeah.
I will just go now.
हाँ
तो अभी ये दो का कंफर्म हो गया कि इनकी 198 डोमिनेंट होगी, ये फेनोटाइप होगा रिसेसिव हेटेरोजाइगस देन आल्सो दिस वन. देन अभी इनका क्या होगा, दैट मींस दीस आर ऑल अटैच्ड. अगर अटैच्ड है तो इसका फेनोटाइप जीनोटाइप यही होना चाहिए, यही होना चाहिए एंड यही होना चाहिए. तो अटैच्ड इज ऑलवेज रिसेसिव, तो इनका जीनोटाइप यही होना चाहिए. Same thing you did. अच्छा, तो if that is the case, homozygous dominant है, heterozygous है, homozygous recessive है, generally parents will be this one.
Same.
Parents ये रहेगा heterozygous. Only here I will check करो, do it okay. Which one is this? Pentadactyl. Pentadactyl, what are they saying? This is recessive, small p. This is dominant, capital P. So now see, you want to find out polydactyly. The shaded ones are polydactyly we are finding. So polydactyly will be what genotype? Possible genotypes क्या हो सकते हैं polydactyly ना? ये हो सकता है and ये हो सकता है. Capital P, small p ये भी हो सकता है, है ना? Okay, and capital P, small p.
Small होगा.
Heterozygous दोनों combination लेना है.
All possible.
All possible combinations लेना है. Dominant है heterozygous, but these are recessive. So parents will be heterozygous. Parents dominant homozygous नहीं हो सकता.
अरे इसको मैंने बोला ना छोड़.
It is also heterozygous. Capital P, small p, capital P, small p. Then only we will get the recessive.
No.
Because this is इसका क्या genotype होगा? Small p, small p.
What if the parents are capital P, capital P?
If the parents are capital P, capital P. This is capital P. In double rows, no? If I'm saying this is capital P, capital P. तो सारे जो offsprings है, it will not get a single normal. नहीं. Homozygous भी नहीं मिलेगा, heterozygous भी नहीं मिलेगा. Homozygous कैसे मिलेगा?
Capital P, capital P होगा ना.
Homozygous dominant मिलेगा ना? Homozygous dominant में
चलो क्या हुआ?
तो normal fingers तो मिल ही नहीं रहा है. एक से
हाँ.
यहाँ पे तो हमारे दो बच्चों का normal fingers है.
क्यों सारे
तो दो बच्चों का normal fingers है,
बात ऐसा बहुत बात.
ये condition होनी चाहिए. ये condition तभी होगा when parents
इसको मार के साइड रहते रहते.
So it's a chance like whoever gets the point.
आया ये समझ में.
अब देखो
मदद करती होंगी.
और अच्छी तरह से नीचे लिख के रखो so that there is no confusion. आदित्य क्या है? हाँ, this side what you do? हाँ, यहाँ पे the change that I was telling is this is first one of the second one. This is the for the free earlobe we are doing.
What?
The first family, no? Free earlobe if you are doing. This is for the free earlobe. Heterozygous. Other combination I take dominant है. और ये अगर attached है, so all these are recessive भी होना चाहिए. Because attached is recessive. Parents? Done, no?
Yes.
चलो. So this concept of pedigree chart is done. We move on. The concept of pedigree charts we are done. So let us now move on to this. The last topic, that is sex-linked inheritance we are going to study. Monohybrid, dihybrid, did I give you that answer? No, I will do the questions later. Monohybrid, dihybrid, I think some few questions are left. We'll have to complete this. Okay, complete these few questions, then we move on to that one. C sub number 1, 2. C sub number 1, 2. Sub number 1 and 2. Fast. Complete that. We don't have too many questions here. But genetics के और भी questions you have to solve. Many questions you have to solve.
Duplicated chromosomes
Which one?
remain attached to a point.
Duplicated chromosomes remain attached to a point termed as centrosome.
True क्या? Rewrite करना नहीं. बहुत देर है.
Centrosome है.
Centromere.
Centromere.
What is the difference between centrosome and centromere? Tell me.
Centromere is a point of attachment between two sister chromosomes.
And centrosome.
Centrosome is a cell originally in a cell, plant, animal cell.
Present where? Near the poles of the cell.
Pole.
Helps in spindle formation, cell division.
Now centriole was the protein, right?
Centriole is a protein. Actually, the nature of the protein is microtubule and centriole. Come on, complete the fast.
सभी true लगे. सब बहुत है.
Change the first or the last word. Do it.
अरे सभी true है.
अरे भाई एक और question.
Last one is
एक और question तो पढ़.
alternative forms of a gene are called traits.
Should put it.
Rewrite the correct form of the statement by changing the portion as well.
तो मतलब false तो दे ही रहा है. वो true तो करना ही है. false तो नहीं.
Already true. बोल false is that E वाला बोल.
C1 will be
बोल
trait.
Gene होगा.
C1 a trait होगा.
मेरे को तो gene से.
Character trait.
नहीं
Inheritable
hereditary
feature
है.
of an organism is termed as inheritable feature trait.
Now what is the E1?
Alternative form of a gene are called traits. Alleles. Alleles.
Sorry true.
And
E is also false. अरे सभी false है भाई. क्या बोल
The
रहे हैं?
dominant classification is a dominant. Axial is dominant.
अभी बोले true है.
गलत बोला.
The C1 is character or trait?
What is that question?
Any inheritable feature of an
C.
organism?
Inheritable feature trait.
Feature. Any inheritable feature of an organism is a character there.
Character trait.
क्या sentence book में trait है?
नहीं character है.
Character है. Any inheritable feature is a trait also. Alternative form. We are inheriting the brown color. That's a trait also.
Character trait.
Character भी लिखोगे not mistake. You can write character if that sentence is given in your book. But these are traits also. We inherit the blue trait. We inherit the brown eye color like that. Okay. Yeah, complete. So let us go through the questions. Duplicated chromosomes remain attached to a point termed as centromere. It should be. Full complement of DNA of an organism is termed as genetics. It should be genome. Underline word genetics. Cut it genome. What is the difference between gene and genome? Gene. What was gene?
Plural.
Nahi.
Singular.
Nahi. What is gene? What is gene? Gene is what? How will you define gene?
The hereditary function.
Map the specific sequences of nucleotides
On the DNA, which
On the
encode
DNA.
a specific protein, which is responsible
Which is
for
responsible
certain
for-
hereditary
बोल दे भाई,
characteristics
तू ही
known
बोल
as a
दे।
gene. Exactly, singular plural.
Now, can I
I think
speak?
very vague.
Now, when we are talking about the DNA molecule, what is gene and what is genome? I may talk about this as one single DNA in one single chromosome. Now, this has got segments. So, I understand that these particular segments, what are these segments known as? These segments are known as genes. This is a gene. So, I'm talking about this is gene 1, responsible for the eye color. I talk about this is gene 2, responsible for the height, something like this. What is a gene? Segment of the DNA that encodes a protein responsible for one particular character. But I said this is one single chromosome. So like this we have got 46. So if one chromosome there are roughly now 20,000 genes, for example. And now we are saying that we have got such type of chromosomes many. We have got 46 chromosomes in our cells. Some cells, some chromosomes will have 1,000 genes, another chromosome 15,000, another chromosome 20,000 genes, another chromosome 500 genes. So taking the sum total of all the genes in the chromosomes, that is what is known as genome. What is the difference between genome and gene? The difference between genome and gene is one specific segment of the DNA which regulates a character. Then what is genome? If we know that we have got almost about 50,000 genes in all our chromosomes, then that complete DNA complement, complete gene complement, that is what is known as genome. Are you understanding? So I talk about 46 chromosomes. 46 chromosomes make total number of genes kya hai? For example, 50,000. So that is what is the genome. And every single DNA has many genes like that. So that is the difference. Remember the word genome. So there, that sentence should be genome. Inheritable feature of an organism is termed as character, you can write, trait, you can write. Next, terminal flower position is a dominant trait of pea flower. Axial flower, it should be. Axial flower is a dominant trait. Alternative form of a gene are called traits. It should be alleles. Number 2, I had asked you to go through. Number 2 says lion, tiger, domestic cat. All the three have the same chromosome number 38. Yet they have different appearance. Can you tell me why? All of their chromosome number is same. All have got the entire cat family. They have got 38 chromosomes. But why they look different?
Because of genes.
Because of the arrangement of genes, gene sequence, the type and the arrangement of genes. So just write down that 1 or 2 keywords there. If this type of a question comes, because of the arrangement and the type of genes that they have. So not only the chromosome number same should be satisfactory to talk about the same features of an organism. How many chromosomes? Yes, the other day we studied how many chromosomes are present. Now if I say that how many chromosomes are present in the body cells of an organism, you will
46.
46. How many chromosomes are present in the cells of the stomach and the bone and the liver? 46. How many chromosomes are present in the gametes? 23. So you get a statement that 23 pairs of chromosomes are present in the body cells. True or false? 23 pairs of chromosomes are present in the body cells. True. 23 chromosomes are present in the male gametes. True or false? True. 23 and 23 pairs. Check your question when you answer. Let us go to one more concept, that is the sex-linked inheritance. What is the meaning here? Already we had discussed the other day the types of chromosomes. What are the 2 types? Autosomes, allosomes. How many pairs of autosomes? How many pairs of autosomes? 23. 22. Which pair to which pair? 1 to 22. First to the 22nd pair. And which is that allosome? 23rd pair. So, if you have to talk about the concept of sex-linked inheritance, we understand the concept of sex-linked inheritance. We understand the concept of sex-linked inheritance. One of you, can you go and get all this ink?
I'll go. Anyways, I have to fill a bottle also.
No, you say now.
उसको तो जज्बा है
देखो ये तो bottle ले यार.
Advait, no? Advait, come and ask for a red pen also.
So, ma'am, I bottle ले
बहुत जल्दी
जाओ, come back in 5 minutes.
मेरा भी
5 minutes what? 2 minutes.
से मत जाओ
That's it. Break दिया जाता है ना तुम लोगों को 15 minutes. You keep on watching your mobile at that time. सबके बैग में मोबाइल है, right? लाए हो ना? बहुत important है ना?
सुबह सुबह मिल गया तो ले
Oh, what excuse? मिल गया तो ले आया. Mommy was not at home when you came out. हाँ, तो मम्मी से छिपा छिपा के लेके आते
मम्मी
हैं.
बोलती नहीं है जब तक
अच्छा.
मम्मी फोन करेगी कभी तो इम्पोर्टेंट है
Okay.
बीच में
So,
नहीं करना क्लासेस
हाँ,
मम्मी को पता है क्लास के बीच में नहीं करना
मम्मी को थोड़ी ना ये पता है कि वॉशरूम में बच्चे जाते हैं और
मैं तो
लेके
ना
जाते
पता
हैं.
है
What? Okay. So, with that concept again, sex-linked inheritance, we are talking about the sex chromosomes or allosomes. We talk about sex chromosomes. So, we are going to understand this concept again, the sex chromosomes or allosomes. What are the concept of the sex chromosomes? I'm talking about the 23rd pair of chromosome. If it is in case of the female, the pair of chromosome is like this, X and X. If it is the male, then the pair of chromosome is something like this, X and Y. The Y chromosome is something like this. It is almost an acrocentric chromosome where the other chromatid is very small. The other chromatid is very small. It is a small acrocentric chromosome that we understand. I'm sorry, telocentric chromosome that we understand. Now, this type of a condition that we understand, try understanding this type of a situation where whatever alleles are present in this chromosome, almost the same alleles, homozygous or heterozygous condition will be there in the other chromosome. But what about this? So many alleles must be there here where the other dominant or recessive counterpart is absent, no, in this condition. This is known as a hemizygous condition. What is the meaning of a hemizygous condition? Hemizygous condition means a type of a condition that we have already come across when two alleles of the same type present in a pair of chromosomes, homozygous. Different alleles present. Now, I may talk about that certain type of alleles. Yes, this is a homozygous condition. This is a homozygous condition. If I talk about certain alleles, here is one and here is something here. What do we call this condition as? Heterozygous condition. One allele is present in the X, but its contrasting allele is absolutely absent in the Y. That type of a condition is known as what? A hemizygous condition. That is called a hemizygous condition. Okay. This is the reason why males suffer from certain different type of X-linked traits. Hemophilia. The common ones to talk about is the ear, the hairs in the ear. This is also because of this.
No?
The pattern baldness. This is also because of this. So there are so many common features also that the males suffer from, females doesn't. What is the result? What is the reason? Because of this hemizygous condition of alleles. Jisme one allele is there in the X chromosome, but the other contrasting allele, the counterpart, is not there in the Y chromosome. Why? Because the Y chromosome is very short. And quite a number of alleles are missing in the Y chromosome. So now, based on that, we try understanding there are so many genetic disorders also or conditions also that human males can suffer from if they have got the recessive alleles here. If they have the dominant alleles here, not a problem. If they have the recessive alleles here, then there is a chance that the male may suffer from different type of conditions. Then which are those conditions? What are they known as? Those type of conditions are known as sex-linked disorders. So now we talk about the sex-linked disorders. What are these sex-linked disorders? The sex-linked disorders that we are talking about are some common ones to understand. What are some sex-linked disorders? Some common ones that we understand would be number one, hemophilia. Let us try understanding a little bit of this hemophilia. Then we talk about the color blindness. So these are basic disorders, but there are so many other conditions also you may understand. Like just now I mentioned, the baldness, then the ear, hair, etc., etc. These are very common in males that we understand. What is hemophilia? These are the two that we are going to study now. What is hemophilia? Hemophilia is a condition where certain blood clotting factors, proteins are absent in the male body. Why is it absent in the male body? Because in this region of the X chromosome, these males, they have got a recessive allele. Let me just assume and write down small h here. So here I would understand what is that allele which is responsible for hemophilia? A recessive allele. If this recessive allele is present in this region of the chromosome, since the dominant allele is not there, possible that this male would suffer from this condition. But are these alleles there in the X chromosomes of the male or X chromosomes of the female? Yes, possible they are there. But in most of the cases, it is saying that on the other side, there is a dominant allele for this. Since the dominant allele is there, this recessive allele is not expressing. So that is how most of the females are not seen to suffer from this type of conditions. Again, I talk about color blindness. Now, what is the condition? Let me again continue with hemophilia. I said this is the reason. What is hemophilia? A genetic disorder which is caused due to some recessive allele. Why males suffer? Males suffer because the recessive allele is present in one X chromosome and the other allele, contrasting allele, is absent in the Y chromosome. That is the reason. But what is it? What are the conditions and symptoms are what? The male will suffer from profuse bleeding, even from a slightest cut. Something like the bleeding due to brushing of teeth may be also dangerous for them. And that oozing out of the blood may not stop, may go on for a long period of time, resulting in massive loss of blood from the body.
Also, they're very susceptible to die. Like they can die at a very young age.
Not necessarily every time. That depends. Now that I talk about, I know a person who is hemophilic and he is still surviving till the age of 55. So not necessary. But then, yes.
Not had a single cut for his entire life.
He had gone through so many times, and every time from a slightest cut, he has to be hospitalized. And proper blood clotting factors and all these things have to be injected, which is not normal for other individuals. It's not so. Now, say suppose we may suffer from a cut of or by a knife and etc., and that normally gets healed. We don't get hospitalized for that. But if it is a hemophilic, for that definitely the person has to be hospitalized. The process of clotting and
Expenses are
very much.
But like when we talk about certain diseases, we say that the platelet count is low, then they are more prone to bleeding.
This is not only because of platelets.
Does that also happen in hemophilia? Like
This is not only because of platelets. Platelet count is low if that is not the reason for quite a number of diseases. Now, platelet count is low, that is only for few diseases that we understand. But this condition is not only because of the platelet count. Definitely the person has platelet low. But apart from that, certain blood clotting factors, there are almost 12 blood clotting factors होता है, मतलब proteins होता है. So this blood clotting factor, किसी के body में थोड़ा ज़्यादा कम, but manageable because there are 12 of them. This person lacks quite a number of those blood clotting factors. इसीलिए the process of clotting cannot immediately start. That has to be induced, giving some medicines and etc. etc. So वो जो सारे proteins lacking है in the body, that has to be artificially induced in his or her body, his body. Understood? So now that I talk about hemophilia, what is that condition? The person bleeds profusely from a small cut. That is the condition to understand. What about this? Color blindness. Color blindness, a person, again, I may understand when would a person suffer from color blindness. Color blindness is also because of a recessive allele. I may understand that this male has this recessive allele in this part of the X chromosome. Since the other dominant allele is not there, so that's the reason. Is it possible this recessive allele is there in the X chromosome of a female possible. But if in the other X chromosome the dominant allele is there, so that's the reason the female is saved. Possible है कि female suffering from this and female suffering from this, rare है possible, but rare condition.
Both need to be recessive.
Because both the X chromosome should have the homozygous allele, so it is rare. So now that I talk about what is this condition, symptoms क्या है? The person is not able to differentiate between the shades of the color. And what are the prominent colors? Primary colors are what?
RGB.
Red, green,
Red,
green, blue.
green and blue. Primary colors, red, green, blue. So the red, green, blue colors, the person would be more or less perceiving them as black, brown, grey. And the shades of the color definitely not understood. Are you able to understand the shades of yellow, the shades of the pink, and the shades of the green, and the shades of the blue? No, the person will not be able to understand the differences at all. So quite often you will come across, though rare, but quite often you will come across that people would differentiate, people would argue with the differences in the color. So there you understand that the person may be having a problem in perceiving the color, the perceptions are not clear. Red go orange and orange go grey. So now that when we are talking about this, but again, how frequent is this? This is also not very frequent. It is not that out of 10, 8 males have this chance. No, this is also quite rare because as it is a condition. So quite often we come across that this one recessive allele being present in the X chromosome, somebody in the family must be suffering, then only it is possible. If there's nobody in the family suffering from the last 2-3 generations, then definitely you understand that you are not carrying the allele as it is.
Then how does it start?
How does it start?
Mutation.
This is not mutation, this is just a recessive alleles. Every particular gene has got different forms, alleles. So this is an allele, it is not by mutation. But yes, it has to be somebody in the family when it starts suffering or gets expressed. Then it is a matter of chance, it is a matter of worry that the next generation offsprings may suffer. So then choosing the other partner becomes very difficult. Okay, what I mean is,
They should even choose they made a bachelor to not let their children carry color blindness, even a chance. They should just remain a bachelor.
they should actually, but in India that is very difficult. So yes, in other countries it is. He's hemophilic.
No, he's
Ah.
bachelor.
So now,
Or like,
better don't ask me to open my mouth for that man. Now, when we are talking about this, when we are looking into this particular conditions, I'm saying that why, then what are the probable cases? Why? There are so many cases. Today also we come across, if a male, female has been diagnosed with a genetic disorder, they are advised in a different manner. But today, cure is not possible, but little bit, clinically, little bit of.
ma'am, there are color blindness glasses also. If you wear them, you can see color.
So that's what I was telling you, that today cure is not possible till today. Genetic disorder, the cure is not possible till today. But little bit of monitoring, little bit of managing with the situation, clinically it is allowed today. It is possible today. What are we going to learn? The concept of sex-linked inheritance. How does it run in the family? A concept of crisscross inheritance. Let us start now understanding this. What is crisscross inheritance? For understanding this, let us try looking into some crosses. The first that we talk about would be the parents. Let me talk about the parents. Parents, what is it? A normal female crossed with a colorblind male. Now, what are the notations? Check. We are talking about X. See there? Subscript 0, 1. Meaning what? Here we are talking about the presence of a recessive allele in the X chromosome. We are talking about the presence of a recessive allele in the X chromosome. Let us take the first example. What is the first example we start with? We try to understand the inheritance of hemophilia.
You can do IQ.
Yes? Can we?
Can you do IQ?
The same method. IQ is not because of a recessive allele. Understood? IQ is not because of a recessive allele. Here, what are we trying to understand? Inheritance of certain recessive allele and the expression of a disorder. So there are so many. Right now, we are only talking about hemophilia, colorblindness. IQ is only because of the accumulation of certain proteins in one proportion. That is also because of a gene, but that is not because of a recessive allele. So now, if these are the parents, what are the genotypes I write? This is the genotype, phenotype, normal, female. Yes, I did not write any subscript, letter, number, anything. But what is the other way of representing? I can write this, meaning both the chromosome has the dominant allele. This is one way of representing. Or I don't write anything as it is, means it has got dominant allele. I have put this. I want to study hemophilia. I can also write this way. This is also another way of writing. In your book, they have given only this method, so we go by this method. This is the alternative method of writing. Okay. So now, what is the phenotype of this? This is a hemophilic male. This is a hemophilic male. Gametes, now you tell me. Now the method you know. Gametes, tell me now. Gametes, what should I write?
X and then X.
Same type, no? Here, same type.
XX.
Same type. Here, what do I write?
X and then Y.
Two types of gametes. Now the offsprings. The first generation offsprings. The first generation offsprings, what should be the genotypes? I write the genotypes. This is one. Correctly, are you understanding?
Next one.
This is one. This is another. This is another. Okay. Now, how do we write down the phenotype for this? These are carrier females. Why are we saying this is a carrier female? Because the female will never have hemophilia. Q, because in the other X chromosome the dominant allele is there. What is the meaning of writing this 0? The recessive allele for hemophilia is there in the chromosome. A female will always inherit one X chromosome from mother, one X chromosome from father. Talk about this side. What is the phenotype? Normal male. What about this side? Carrier female. What about here? Normal male. So this is the first generation I come across. The second generation, if at all, this carrier female, meaning the daughter, if at all the daughter marries a normal male. If the daughter marries a normal male, then what are the probabilities? Let us check. What do I write
And the
here?
daughter is a carrier.
The daughter is a carrier, no? See, this is the genotype. The daughter is a carrier. What about the male? Normal. The male is normal male. Gametes. What are the gametes? This is one. This is another. This is one. This is another. Tell me the offsprings now. What will the offsprings be?
XX,
XX,
XY,
XY,
X0, X,
X0X,
XY.
X0Y. है ना?
X.
X0,
And then third offspring.
X0X and X0Y. Phenotype? Normal female. Normal male. What about this? Carrier female. And what about this one? Hemophilic male. Now let us try understanding. In the first generation, the father was hemophilic. In the second generation, the first generation, in the second generation, if I check, the daughter is hemophilic. I'm sorry, carrier. The daughter is a carrier. In the third generation, again the grandson is a carrier. Yes or no? Third generation father,
And grandson is hemophilic.
grandson is hemophilic. No?
Not so hemophilic.
So how is this?
Cannot produce a hemophilic male, but a carrier female can produce a hemophilic male.
Provided this is the condition. Now, if she is unaware, and if she happens to marry a carrier or a hemophilic man, then chances are there that
Trust issues.
ये बोल रहे हैं.
then possibilities are there that the female also may suffer. Female also may suffer in that case. Okay. So this type of an inheritance where the first generation suffers, second generation nobody suffers, but there are carrier females, and again the third generation suffers. This method of inheritance is known as crisscross inheritance, where every alternate one generation male is normal. So these are the first conditions. Did you understand this?
Yes.
I'll give you one question. Based on this concept, we will do it. Right?
Ma'am, it's very easy.
Very easy. Very easy.
Our this female should hold the male. So the male should hold the female and he has color blindness.
ठीक है ना? So write down the first question.
अभी तो क्या हो?
अभी गया था वो.
हाँ.
वो पहले नहीं गया था. Number 1, the first question you write. Let us take color blindness now.
Ma'am,
What will be the now?
why do we represent color blindness by a circle? Like in plants, we
That
do.
no, that is general. Now see, I told you there are different methods. I want to show color blindness. This also is possible. This is also the way. This is also the way. But this is a general way now because the board says that children get confused. That is the reason. But that is the general way that allele, whichever you are studying, you notify like that at the subscript of a X chromosome. But earlier we always used to study this way. Whatever the allele, that recessive allele that one. Okay, now take one question. What will be the percentage of carrier females when a colorblind male marries, when a colorblind male marries a normal female. Full stop. Explain with the help of a Punnett square. Explain with the help of a Punnett square. So leave half of the page for this question. I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more. Leave half a page. You will have to make the Punnett square and all these. So more than half a page you will require. Go to the next question, number 2. A female marries a colorblind male and produces two children. Full stop. Next line. The carrier daughter marries a normal male. Full stop. With the help of a Punnett square, find out. With the help of a Punnett square, find out the percentage proportion of. With the help of a Punnett square, find out the percentage proportion of. Put a dash. A. Question A.
Find out the
With the help of a Punnett square, find out dash. Question A. Proportion of normal children. Normal children. B. Proportion or percentage. Proportion you will be asked in the question. Percentage or percentage proportion you can write. Percentage of colorblind male. Colorblind males. 0. Okay. And question number C. Why is this method, or what is this method of inheritance? What is this pattern? I'm sorry. What is this pattern of inheritance known as? What is this pattern of inheritance known as? And why? What is this pattern of inheritance known as and why? Okay, try now. Go to the first question. Start. Check. Steps one after the other to do. What happened to these girls? All three are absent today.
yeah. Then mass monkey. But we said no. We said we want to attend biology.
Super. Yes.
We are not like that.
Who is absent today? This Aditya is absent.
Yes,
And
but
this
he also participated in the mass monkey.
Also, एक और कितने जिसे participate करा था?
Ma'am, this
But-
Abhipray also
Right.
participated.
Abhipray also participated.
Abhipray
Bachchan also.
I'm Bachchan also.
Bachchan also.
Abhipray yesterday also he went.
Hamaरे नजर
He's in.
Abhipray,
He's in
Raina, Riya, Devanshi, Aditya.
Devanshi बेचारी कल अकेली थी.
All did a mass monkey.
Ma'am, see, Devanshi was attended yesterday because she said I want to attend, but the convention told her not to attend today. They said we're all not going, we also not go.
But we are the smarter ones.
So how come you stand?
We are the smarter ones.
Ma'am, see, I'm a smart one. I don't have a choice of to go.
Exactly. You don't have a choice. Your mother must have thrown you out. You did not have a choice.
Ma'am, I told her that we are mass marking. She said go.
Super. She's very smart.
भरत ने भी करा था mass monkey, but वो
ये
एक बार
genetics में दोबारा.
I mean, you know,
इसमें
Bharat also
एक बार-
convention go
Yes.
mass marking.
But-
He mass bunked 2 classes.
Who?
My Bharat, then he mother threw him out, then he came to the second, third
We
class.
convinced.
Bharat is becoming smarter with you all.
Half mask.
Half mass monkey.
Half mass bunk. ma'am.
Perfect.
Yesterday you were not there, no, Bharat?
I was there.
Actually, you were there. Yesterday you were there.
Nikko.
See, 6 people mass bunked in class.
Yes.
मैं तो nice था.
Teacher तो बन गया.
अब इनका एक्स्ट्रा लेक्चर में लेने वाली नहीं है. किसी का भी नहीं.
मैम पूरे जनरल का चैप्टर खत्म हो गया मैम. वो मास बंक कर दिए मैम.
हाँ.
तो अभिप्राय का चलता है.
छह घंटा मास बंक
मैम अभिप्राय ने भी किया मैम.
चलता है उसका वो.
Ma'am, he said that I'm very smart. I don't need to attend biology lectures.
भाई
कुछ ही हुआ है.
भाई कुछ ही हुआ है.
क्या?
लखनऊ गया.
हाँ?
लखनऊ गया.
मास बंक तो किया ना बस वो मैटर करता है. लखनऊ गया, दुबई गया, सिंगापुर गया, मैटर नहीं करता.
सिंगापुर आ रहा है.
He went to
Come on.
Lucknow definitely for a lecture,
Yeah.
right?
Yes ma'am.
He went to Lucknow definitely for a wedding, but he has to understand the genetics of
Ma'am, no, he said I'm going to Lucknow to this
Ma'am,
Bali
we
lecture.
tried watching through this.
Huh?
Live
मैम मैं अपना
stream.
जॉइन करा था आधा घंटा फिर मेरे को सुनाई नहीं देता मैं लीव
Ma'am,
कर
we
दिया
tried
Yes,
about
ma'am.
you.
You know, he joined, but the girls convinced him not to join.
I
She left.
intentionally put out that you are not supposed to join online. This is not COVID going on. Why you have to join online?
मैं हेडेक दे रहा हूँ उसमें जॉइन
Nothing.
So, ma'am, we tried Lucknow
If
to join
we are able to come in all the different types of infection and headache and stomach ache and leg ache and back ache, and we are able to stand for 9 hours, 12 hours, and definitely you can come and sit your
Ma'am,
exams.
we are immature, irresponsible teenagers. So, hey, रुक जा, help करो हमारे case को रुक जा. Ma'am, so we have to be given the privilege that we cannot handle ourselves. That's why we have to be stay at home.
And now that you give us headache and shocks to correct your papers, and the board pressurizes that 80% बच्चे पास होना ही चाहिए, then what is our state?
हाँ.
तो so सब नालायकों को देखोगे 80% मार्क्स लेके निकल रहा है, and we have taught those children. So we have to think of our situation first, no? चलो fast.
जल्दी दे.
Try understanding
Ma'am, so we have to give out free marks
for
in ICSE board to let those people pass.
no.
Then
Board doesn't give
सीबीएसई
free
में होता है
marks.
वही सब
We have to run after the children to get the work done. There are cases,
ma'am, like imagine if children would have one question.
children, that is
Like 10
बच्चा बोलो चिल्ड्रन
10 children wrote like 5-6 questions and they got like 30-40.
Hmm.
That's fail, right? So how will you?
So fail है तो fail है, along with internals whatever they get 50% marks मिलेगा, that's it.
Huh?
So
50% marks internals.
along with internals they will get 50%, that's it.
तो 50% से तो ये
Sure.
पास ना.
हाँ,
What was the passing percentage?
40. The best of 5 में 30.
वो नहीं बोल रहा
30.
Oh.
अरे
क्या बोल रहा है तू?
35.
आप तो अपराध कर रहा है, मैं तो नाइस रहता.
अपराध.
भाई.
मैं इंडियन डिक्शनरी प्रोमैक्स अपराध कर रहा हूँ.
चलो करो पास.
मैं तो बिल्कुल ही ना सहता.
देखो बोला भी. ये बना.
Punnett square बनाना है, very clear with all the steps.
हम पहले this
हाँ देखो
Generation two
follow the
है.
question. हाँ नहीं follow the question.
F1 के बात करना है ना
यहाँ पे not necessary you have to always start from the parents. यहाँ पे जो generation दिया है खाली एक दिया है, एक ही करना है. यहाँ पे it is not like the Mendel's law where we are talking about the F1 and then F1 के gamete. It's not like that, no? क्या अपराध है?
हाँ, हम इसमें अपराध कर रहे हैं.
हिंदी कुछ ज्यादा ही पढ़ रहे हो ऐसे लग रहा है.
मैं बहुत अच्छी हिंदी पढ़ाती हूँ मैम. पढ़ता आ जाते हैं मैम सब बैठ जाते हैं.
हिंदी is so easy for you all, no? 9th standard में जो पढ़ते हो वही 10th में पढ़ते हो.
नहीं मैम, वो फर्स्ट हाफ और सेकंड हाफ दूसरा नए चैप्टर.
कहाँ पे 9th में they finish up almost 80% होगी तो 10th में रिवाइज कराते हैं, है ना? In most schools it's like that.
तू मराठी है, तू क्या ऐसे कर रहा है?
हाँ हमें भी सेमी पैटर्न होता है.
हमें भी सेम पैटर्न होता है.
मराठी का तो और भी कम है.
मराठी तो
मैं तो चिल करा कर थोड़ा क्लास में
तो ना बोर्ड के लिए लिया.
हाँ.
तो ऑब्वियस चीज है बोर्ड की
महाराष्ट्र.
That is okay, but then the thing is, this subject we are almost done, so now concentrate more on the subjects with which you want to go ahead.
Biology.
जो भी subject with which you want to go ahead.
अच्छा okay. Maths.
So whatever subjects you want to go ahead, science overall you have to do. In your 10,
Ma'am,
It
but
will
in my
be
school
science.
I heard somewhere removed science for best of 5.
no,
Exactly.
who is that?
I don't know.
Ask that person to come and meet us.
but you can remove like that.
हाँ नहीं कर सकते. I was also shocked.
Science is the main subject, maths.
But so when you get the report from a board, you calculate your own percentage, right?
Best of 5.
Why best of 5?
Primary subjects.
Like you can choose best of 5.
No, the board decides best of 5.
Your best of 5 the board decides.
Yes.
हाँ भाई
Overall.
But why do you
Overall, if you take the percentage, that's the reason some students will come across, they end up with 98%. Best of 5 लिया तो 92 में आ जाता है, 95 में. Best of 5 will always be lesser than the overall percentage, no?
But the best of 5 is like the best of 5 है. अगर आर्ट सब्जेक्ट में आपको 3 सब्जेक्ट में like 60
Best of 5 not like your best of 5. It is the 5 main subjects and उसमें तुम्हारा कितना percentage आया है. Which are subjects that will be used in almost all the streams, I say. Complete करो, just 1 or 2 more things and we are done with this chapter. Fast. क्या हुआ?
हम कुछ तो गलत किया हुआ है। अच्छा नहीं
हाँ, complete करो, then I will show you the
मेरे
rest.
से
मिल गया मैं ऐसे
What is the first? Are you able to do?
प्लीज सेम कर लो
Confusion है?
एग्जैक्टली सेम कर लो जो ये पूरा सबसे बड़ी
ये है
F1 कहाँ पे? यहाँ पे F1 कहाँ पे?
अरे वो
यहाँ पे there is nothing known as F1. It is only parents, gametes, offspring. नहीं, यहाँ पे there is no concept of F1. Here we are talking about human, no? So here there is, we are not writing F1, F2. Here parents, gametes, offspring. That's it.
why this discrimination?
Here we are not studying 3-4 generations at the same time, no?
Okay.
Here only one parent, and in the first generation offsprings only we are trying to understand what is the phenotype.
Ma'am, in first question Brits को बनाने के लिए we have to stop at offsprings, then we have to make the Brits.
Next. No, you write this only alternately in the form of a Punnett square. This step you write in the form of Punnett square. Gametes को लिख के this entire thing you write as Punnett square in the Punnett square.
Am I right at second offsprings?
यहाँ पे as per the question. अच्छा, let me give you one idea. चलो बोलो क्या दिया मैंने question parents?
What
Parents
will
का दिया?
be the percentage of carrier females when a colorblind male marries a normal female?
अच्छा, colorblind.
Colorblind male marries a normal female.
Okay, so this is the genotype, the first cross. This is the genotype, normal female. This is how you have to do normal female. Phenotype, what do I write? Colorblind male. Okay. Abhi gametes, next step, gametes. What about the gametes? This and this one. This and this one. Now I go for the offspring. But offsprings में now straight away crisscross नहीं करके I will straight away go for the Punnett square. Punnett square. So when I go Punnett square, male and female I write. What are the gametes? X and X, XY and. Now this, in case of the Punnett square, you have to be very specific. अगर यहाँ पे मेल लिखा तो मेल गैमेट्स यहाँ पे लिखना है, अगर इस साइड में फीमेल लिखा तो फीमेल गैमेट्स. For the plants we just wrote, but here you have to be very specific. फीमेल है तो फीमेल गैमेट्स यहाँ पे लिखना है, and then this. Okay. Now the process of.
And how will we remove the percentage?
हाँ, so overall 4 में से करो.
25 आ रहा है
मेरे को भी
Overall 4 में से check करना. Exactly like segregation. Okay. So what are the types? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, what is it? This one. 1 and 4, this one. 2 and 3, this. 2 and 4, this. This is the first cross, right? All of you got this way? Check. All of you have to get this type of a cross. Phenotype क्या है इसका? What to write? Carrier female. What about this? Carrier female. What about this? Normal male and normal male. So ये हो गया first example that I gave you. Now look for the questions. What I gave you questions. So this is how the Punnett square has to be done. See that you understand. आया समझ में? Should we discuss the questions now after this?
Oh, wait. The second question was there.
हाँ, इसके साथ मैंने जो questions दिया पहले वो complete कर. All of you make a proper Punnett square.
Oh.
अच्छा, we'll take this another 2-3 minutes, not a problem. इसके साथ जो questions, ये Punnett square complete किया सबने?
I have passed minute extra break to sir to बोल के.
हाँ, ठीक है. This one is done. After that, look for the questions now. इसके साथ जो मैंने questions दिए 2-3. Check. What are those? The first question.
Next one is a question.
इसके साथ questions क्या है पहले बोलो? The first question. The percentage of what?
25.
Percentage of carrier females. Percentage.
जीनोटाइप रेशियो क्या होगा?
जीनोटाइपिक रेशियो नहीं ढूंढना है, बट जीनोटाइपिक रेशियो अगर ढूंढना भी है तो 1:1 हुआ 50-50 का. अच्छा, तो परसेंटेज ऑफ कैरियर फीमेल्स क्या होगा इसमें?
50 हो जाएगा.
50%.
ये तो गलत.
किसका?
परसेंटेज ऑफ कैरियर फीमेल्स 50%.
मैंने भी पहले वैसे ही करा था एक्चुअली.
Are you all sure?
एक कलर ब्लैक में लाया था ना.
परसेंटेज ऑफ कैरियर फीमेल्स 50% है. चेक करो.
हाँ, वो सही हो गया. वो हमने
मैम अपने XY कैसे आया?
कहाँ पे XY आया?
अच्छा वो X है ना, XX है ना ऊपर?
हाँ.
वो पूरे पे.
हाँ.
अरे पूरे का ना XX है ना, वो Y के तरफ.
हाँ, XX है.
अच्छा.
ये XX है.
50% ना.
50%. Correct है ना? First one. Now go to the next one. Out of these 4, just like the segregation concept, पूरा 100% लेना है. 4 अगर 100% का स्केल है तो 1 अगर है तो 25 हो गया, 2 अगर है तो 50 हो गया, ऐसे 3 अगर है 75% होता है.
So the A1 is proportion of normal children is 2.
अच्छा, what is the second one I gave you? Carrier female is marrying what I said?
normal.
Carrier female is marrying the normal male now.
कौन सा क्वेश्चन है?
Second वाला ना?
उसमें लिखा फीमेल मैरिज अ कलर ब्लाइंड मेल.
कैरियर फीम. अरे वो उसके बाद पढ़ना.
मैम I didn't know the first one. मैंने सोचा कि पहला वाला वन से इन्फो की लेता.
I gave you 2
अच्छा हाँ
questions.
सर.
मैंने तुमको 2 क्वेश्चन दिया.
A female marries a colorblind male and produces 2 children.
हाँ. A female marries a colorblind man and produces 2 children. ऐसे मैंने एग्जांपल दिया.
बहुत फीमेल्स दिया था.
Then मैंने बस किया था the carrier daughter remain marries a normal male. मैंने उसका प्रिंसिपल बनाया.
अच्छा चलो उसका बनाएंगे अभी. What is that question? Tell me.
The carrier daughter
marries
a normal male.
normal male.
With the help of principal, find out the proportion of normal
अच्छा
children.
चलो पहले ये करेंगे then I'll go to that.
अब सेम ही है.
Same ही है ना?
हाँ.
This is carrier female normal. So gametes are these.
I know that after.
This is male. Carrier will be this. This is male. So यही होने वाला है. This will be normal female. This will be normal female. This will be now colorblind male. This will be colorblind male. And this will be normal male. This is for the second question. Huh? This is question number 2 जो मैंने दिया था. This is the for that.
Ma'am, the A answer is 50%, B answer is 50%, C is 60%.
अभी question क्या दिया मैंने?
Proportion of normal children 50%.
Proportion of normal children 50%. Correct.
Percentage of colorblind male 50%.
Percentage of colorblind male.
Yeah.
Percentage of colorblind.
25%.
Huh?
25%.
Percentage of colorblind males. तो colorblind male जब देखोगे, you will check only the male में से colorblind क्या है 50%. It is not mentioned in the question percentage of colorblind children. Remember this, huh? This is very fine question. That is a percentage of colorblind male पूछा है तो male में से colorblind कितने 50 हो गए. Percentage of colorblind children पूछा है, then it will be 25%.
colorblind male is 50 ना, sorry 25 ना.
नहीं, colorblind male है तो मैं खाली यही चेक करने वाली हूँ, तो हो गया 50%.
आधा है ना.
और colorblind children अगर पूछा गया, then I have to check entire. Then answer is 25% is colorblind male. आया समझ में? So two things you are asked. Either percentage of colorblind children it will be asked, or son and daughter you will be asked. So son and daughter अगर पूछा गया तो son पूछा गया तो only male you will check. Daughter पूछा गया तो only daughter you will check. Children पूछा गया तो पूरा you will check.
But इसमें normal में लेना.
ये normal हो गया. Question is what is the percentage of colorblind male? तो ये पूरा हो गया मेरा 100%, half है तो 50% होगा आंसर. तब 50% children अगर पूछा गया then 25% होगा.
Okay.
Understood? So you have to check the question what is there, accordingly little bit you are there, the answer will change. The next class एक दो example we will do.
नहीं 20 पे हो रहा है कि 50-50 है.
Confusion है. The next class again I will take one more
Can you
example.
answer the third का why?
आधे ही तो नहीं.
What is the question? Tell me.
What is the pattern of inheritance known as
Sex-linked
and why?
inheritance. Sex-linked inheritance. Why? Because X chromosome in the males, alleles present in the X chromosome do not have their corresponding allele in the Y chromosome. The same thing that I explained earlier. So certain alleles, recessive alleles, which are present in the X chromosome, do not have their corresponding allele in the Y chromosome. The Y chromosome is short. So I'll take one or two more questions next class on this, and we'll start with the next chapter. Probably photosynthesis will start.
Photosynthesis we done.
No.
No. Rose school.
सही में
बाहर जा रहा है.
हाँ.
बाहर जा रहा है.
मैं Google ले रहा हूँ. लोकल तो Google.
यार वो तो गया है. घर जा रहा है.
हाँ. नहीं खरीद रहा हूँ.
कहाँ से?
मेरे 10 पेज बाकी है.
कहाँ से खरीदो?
नहीं होगा 10 मिनट.
गायत्री जा
अब
रहा है.
एक और डूबी तो है. घर पे है बहुत सारे.
गायत्री जा रहा है.
नहीं ये पता हुआ स्पीचेस में लिखा है. जा रहा हूँ. 10 मिनट में नहीं होगा.
20 तो ऐसे ही होगा.
अच्छा.
22, 26, 28. मैं एक्चुअली मैं बायो टू लाना भूल गया था. तो 8 सीरीज मैक्सिमम हो गया.